Hey, welcome back. It's Mrs. Cedarholm, and today we're going to talk about percent proportion. And percent proportion is just that. It's a part of, because it's percent, it's a part of a whole. And when we talk about percent, we generally talk about percent as anything out of 100. You know, and I've said this in class before, your best grade to get a whole test right is 100%. Well, in percent proportion, sometimes we're looking for different elements. Sometimes we're going to be looking for a part of a whole, sometimes we're going to be looking for the whole, and sometimes we're going to be looking for the percent. So what I showed you in class, if you remember way back, before we went through all this, I explained that you can set it up as a proportion, which involves that equal sign right there, and we've got the part over the whole is going to equal my percent over 100. Now, having said that, we also have, and this works best a lot of times when we're talking about word problems in particular, but sometimes we just get a statement, and in that statement you have the words is over of equals percent over 100. So I'm going to do a couple of examples to show you what I'm talking about and how it comes back to either one of these. I'm not going to do word problems with this. This is going to be strictly just setting up percent proportion. So if we take something that looks like this, what is, and I'm going to underline that word is, and I'm not big on underlining, but I'm pulling this out for a reason. What is 25% of 180? Well, the constant in this is going to be that 100 because we know percent always goes over 100. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to put that 100 there. And because I have percent in my word problem, in my statement, in my sentence, I'm going to put the 25 over 100. There's my fraction, my ratio. On this side, I'm looking for what is. I want to know what the part of 180 equals 25%. So I'm going to leave my x there, and I'm going to put my 180, and notice the word of is used here. This is my part, this is my whole. At this point I would butterfly, and I would get 100 times x to get 100x. If I multiply 180 times 25, and I did my math correctly, I got 4,500. Isolating my variable, I divide by 100, so I get x equals 45. I hope I did that right. So this would be if I was looking for the part, if I'm looking for the word is. That's just one of the many examples. I'm going to do two more examples, so just give me a second here to clean up my board so I can move on. Make sure my board is dry. Okay, so we found the is, we found the part in our last problem. Let's try this one. In this problem, we're being told 54 is what percent of 68? And all of these I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. They're not always going to come out perfectly. That's okay. But I'm going to round all of mine to the nearest tenth. So I'm being told 54 is. So where I have the word is, or what I have as a part, I'm putting over my of, my 68. I'm being asked, there's my question, what is my percent? And since percent always goes over 100, that's where I would put my x. Again, I would butterfly this or cross multiply. 68x gives me 5,400. Isolating my variable again, I'm going to get x equals roughly 79.4. And because I'm being asked percent, this needs that percent sign at the end to be complete. Okay? So I gave you an is problem, I gave you a percent problem. Now we're going to look for the of or the whole. Oops, I think I may have sprayed a little high on this one. All right, so in this next problem, we're going to take 62 is 73% of what number? We're being told 62 is, it's a part of something else. We're being told we've got a percent. But we don't know what 62 is the part of. That's what we're trying to find out. Having said that, this is how this problem would be set up. Notice in each of the different problems, when we were looking for the part, the x was here. When we looked for the percent, the x was here. When we looked for the whole, we put it here. Again, we'd still butterfly or cross multiply. 73x equals 6,200. And dividing each side by 73, we get, again, x is roughly 84.9. And we don't put a percent here because we already have percent in our questions. And that's our first video on percent proportion, which is going to lead us to some other topics like tax, tip, and discount, and some other percents.